in the building.
Street executives.
Georgia Muscle Rock.
DJ. Technique.
What's happening, everybody? Of course, it's your host, Young Brink. You're tuning in to the #1 music and entertainment TV show in Memphis and the Mid-South, talking about Brink TV. Now, we're going to change things up just a little bit. You know, we actually have an author on the show tonight. I'm talking about Myrian, the author. What's going on with you, man?
How you doing, Mr. Brink?
Hey, of course, I got to say thank you for coming on the show. It means a lot to us here at Brink TV.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate you. Like to see you doing your thing, man.
Most definitely, most definitely. Now, of course, we got a lot to talk about because you have multiple projects that you're working on, as well as let's get into who you are. You know, you're an author. Tell the people first and foremost, how did you come up with the name Myrian, the author?
Okay, well, Myrian, the author, since I like to write, I like to write songs, I write sermons, I get into writing books, you know, writing community development projects. So I didn't want to limit myself.
Right.
You know, I didn't want to limit myself to just being
only like literary work.
Right. So I wanted to, you know, get into a lot of things because who knows? I mean, I may produce, you know, start getting into music or who knows?
Right.
Yeah. So I don't just wanted to present myself as a writer.
Got you. Okay. So I understand that you're working on several projects. And another thing about you that I actually like is you're not just local.
Right.
You know, you actually take your mission on the road. Let's talk about your movement a little bit.
Well, man, I traveled a lot. Go to a lot of different cities. Primarily dealing in poverty-stricken neighborhoods.
Right.
I like to specialize and go to those neighborhoods and see what's going on in the city. Talk to local pastors, you know, churches and things of that nature to see how to work together and try to bring the community up.
Right.
You know, and at the beginning stages of it, you know, that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
But I like to go out, you know, and I learn all kind of interesting things, you know, from, you know, taking my ministry on out to other cities and stuff.
Right. Now, I guess you would say just going from city to city, like what are some of the most common problems that you're viewing on your journey?
Parental problems with the youth.
Yeah.
Parental problems with the youth, you know, disrespectful teens, low wages on jobs.
Definitely.
I think that's a lot of reasons. That causes a lot of problems right there.
That's true.
Kids being raised by TVs and radios.
Yeah.
That's a problem that I see throughout, you know, every city pretty much. And another problem I see is like when I visit the churches.
Right.
People attend churches all the time, but they never change.
Right.
They never change. So I like to look into that and see why not people change, and that's what I've been studying.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been studying.
So far with your research, like, are there any results you came up with, any theories? Because I can definitely agree with that, because you know it's like the old saying, people say playing church.
Right.
A lot of people they get in there and they just play church, and you know what they say, in the club Saturday night and you know, thank you Jesus Sunday morning.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, throughout your studies, like, what would you say are some of these reasons why people are doing this?
One thing that I see that we have a problem with definitions.
Gotcha.
When we look at the Bible, we look at, you know, the Greek and the Hebrew and the original languages. What you will find is that they may have 10 variations of one word,
right,
and they will mean totally different things.
Right.
But when it was translated over to the English, we may have one word and it may mean one of those 10 different definitions.
Right.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Our language isn't as the word I want to use. Our language isn't as precise.
Gotcha.
Our words, our definitions are you know, love, you know, hate. But in their definition, you know, in their language, it actually can mean something totally different, just by the a suffix or a prefix to make a long story short.
Right.
Yeah.
So as far as let's kind of tap into the parental side of things. You know, in your opinion, you know, what could parents do more? You know, what could we do more as well? Because I mean, they always say it takes a village to raise a child, but let's start off with the parents. What more could the parents do? Because I mean, mama at work, probably working 2 jobs.
Right.
You know, daddy probably not in the picture. So I mean, like, what can that single parent mom that's already struggling to raise the kids, like, what more could she do?
Supervise, have them supervised.
Gotcha.
Don't leave them at home.
Yeah.
Just because they're old enough to, you know, take a key to school, unlock the door, and get in, you know, fix them some Cheerios when they get home.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Don't let them be their own babysitter.
Right.
Because they're gonna make choices.
Right.
While they're alone, and they may not be good choices.
Right.
And by kids being who they are and developing,
right.
you know, they may develop some bad habits.
Exactly.
That maybe that they won't really come into fruition until they get older.
Right.
You know, and you like, whoa, what happened? You know,
right.
I raised my child to do this. I raised my child to do that. What happened?
Yep.
Well, the times when they was at home alone, they learned things. They talked to people, was telling them things,
Yep.
and now they're older and they like,
Right.
the brain picks it back up and hey, that behavior, that's where that behavior starts.
And one thing is very interesting that you said earlier, you mentioned how children are being raised by the television.
Right.
And of course we know kids are very impressionable. You
right.
know, whatever they see, they might mimic it and they might, you know, act it, you know, react it. But the thing is, if the parent is not there to tell them, hey, you know that's not right?
Right.
You know what happened if you actually do it in real life.
Right.
If they're not there, then kind of like what you said, they get older and then they go back to that place when they first saw it and then they reenact it.
Exactly.
Next thing you know, we got thousands of people in the 201 Popular, you know what I'm saying? Daily. It's happening. So, okay, let's talk about us as a village. You know, what do you feel like we could do? What more could we do? Because let's be honest, man. Let's call a spade a spade. It seems like we, and I say we, I mean, you know, us older people, it seems like we kind of afraid or apprehensive about mentoring to the youth or reaching out to them, because I mean, you know, common consensus is, you know, they go bust us over the head or cuss us out. So what could we do? You know, first of all, let's see how we can shed that, you know, get rid of that feeling or that stigma that we have towards our young people. What could we do to do more for them?
Well, one thing about the young people, they are waiting to be approached.
You're right.
They're waiting to be approached. Their behavior is in the result of because they're not being approached.
Right.
You have to come to them in a real way.
Yeah.
You can't come to them. You got to understand that they have been exposed to the world via the internet.
Right.
So they have seen all kinds of things.
Yeah.
You got to come to them with knowledge. You got to come to them being real and not thinking that they are kids.
Right.
I mean, they are kids, but they have a lot of knowledge. So you have to respect what they do know, and try to talk to them in what they in the way that they will understand.
Right.
You know, be real with them.
Exactly.
Hey, it's nothing that they don't know.
Yeah.
They know.
You're right.
So
you'd be surprised what these kids know these days.
You're right.
And another thing, you know, we got to be relatable to them.
Right.
You know, because okay, a lot of times they see you and they look at you as an authoritative figure.
Right.
Of course, natural is to be rebellious.
Right.
But when you come in, you know, plain Jane, hey, what's going on, young brother? like, say for instance, you walk by a basketball court and they out there hooping. You know, hey, little bro, let me get a shot. You know? Next thing you know, you building that bond from there. You know, and then with you being the older, more responsible, that's where the grooming comes in. That's where the nurturing comes in. But it'll never happen if we're afraid. So somehow we gotta get this stigma out of our heads, because it's just like what you said. They're waiting and ready to be approached. Right. You just got to get this stigma out of our heads. They're not gonna rob us. They're not gonna shoot us. They're not gonna cuss us out. You know. See, I think us older people, we watching too much world star hip hop. We seeing all this stuff. True enough, it does happen.
It happens.
But you know, we gotta. It's not every kid.
Nah, man.
Every kid is not a bad kid. Just like Trayvon Martin, he wasn't a bad kid.
Right.
But George Zimmerman felt like he was.
Exactly.
Hey, like I said, we got Myrian, the author, on the show. Hey, we're about to take a commercial break, pay some bills, and we'll be right back.
All right.
What's happening, everybody? It's Young Brink, the host of the #1 music and entertainment TV show in Memphis and the Mid-South. Brink TV, and I'm inviting you to come join me on the Brink TV couch. Now on Brink TV, we interview rappers, singers, DJs, models, basically all forms of entertainment, as well as entrepreneurs. So if you got your own business, you need to be on the Brink TV show promoting your business. I'm talking about take things to the next level. We also air music videos, so if you're an artist and you want your music video aired, as long as it's clean, we'll play it for you. We also air TV commercials, so again, if you have your own business, you want to promote your business, hey, Brink TV is the place for you. So tune in each and every Tuesday night, Comcast Channel 31 at 9:30 p.m. For the people who don't have Comcast or live outside of the viewing area, we also stream live. So hey, Brink TV is where it's at. Check us out. And of course, we back, Brink TV, #1 music and entertainment TV show in Memphis and the Mid-South. I'm your host, Young Brink. Hey, of course, you guys know we got Myrian, the author, on the show. Hey, we talking about a lot of things. Let's talk about, you said Undefined Labels, right?
Right, Undefined Labels.
Let's go for it.
Undefined Labels, while redefining yourself.
Okay.
Typically, in the black neighborhood, we grow up being called things.
Right.
Lazy, stupid. You're gonna be like your daddy.
Right.
You're never gonna amount to anything. You're gonna grow up.
Right.
You're gonna grow up and you're gonna waste your life. Those are labels.
Yeah.
Nigger, that's a label.
You're right.
And what happens is that kids, when they hearing those things, when we growing up hearing those things, we start to mold ourselves and start to become those things.
Right.
So when I say undefined labels, while redefining yourself, what I mean is that we have to those two things. Okay, when we get to a point in our life where we say, "Hey, I went down this road. I want to turn back and I want to do something different."
Right.
Okay, now that's called. Now you want to redefine yourself.
Yeah.
But you have to undefine what you have always bought into.
Right.
It has to be that label has to be undefined. And I say that label has to be undefined because the label is not who you are.
That's right.
The label is not who you are. It's just something that you bought into.
Right.
So when you get to the point in your life where now it's time to change, you have to redefine yourself. And now you are getting to the point where you're beginning to make yourself who you really are. Right. in the making of that. And those two things, undefined labels and redefining yourself, those things are happening simultaneously, both at the same time.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
Yeah.
But it has to be done.
Right.
It has to be done, and we got to understand that when you get to that point that you're not only living for yourself, but you are setting an example for the next generation.
Right.
Because they're going to see that process also.
Right.
And there's going to be some things that's going to break in their life just from them seeing you going through that process, because kids are very pay attention to a lot of things. You know, they observe everything.
That's true.
And you know, you may not think that they're listening, or you may not think they're looking, but they are.
They are.
They see when we put the cigarettes down.
Yep.
They see when we stop clubbing.
Yep.
They are paying attention to that.
Right.
And they are very analytical.
Yeah.
You know, so, and you know, we got to give kids more props about how smart they are than they really are, because they are very smart.
And the funny thing is, man, depending on the kid, they might let you have it if they see you doing something bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
You ain't supposed to be smoking. Why you smoking? That's gonna kill you. And I'm like, you 5 years old. What you doing about that? Don't you know smoking bad? You know, and that's true. That's true. You working on a book.
A book, yeah.
It's Chronicles of a Youth Pastor. Is that
Chronicles
correct?
of a Youth Pastor, yeah.
Okay, tell the people a little bit about that.
Working with kids, I've just have seen things. I want to help youth pastors out to be more effective in ministry and dealing with children. The old model of ministry, children's church. Let me just be quite frank. It doesn't work anymore. I mean, good effort.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
What we have to do is take those same principles and just convert them over.
Right.
But the mold changes all depending on the congregation of kids.
Right.
You know, depending on, you know, what these kids are faced with in their community, in school. You know, that's how you determine what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do it.
Right.
So that book is in the making.
Okay.
And that's what the book is going to talk about. The book is going to talk about me working with various youth groups and also working with other youth pastors and seeing how they do ministry and what can we do to improve ministry for kids.
Definitely. Now, earlier we was talking about why, you know, the church hasn't changed or people going to church hasn't changed. In your opinion, why would you say they haven't?
In the church, everything is always focused on spiritual things. Which, hey, you know, we can't throw that out. We got to keep that. Yes, it is spiritual. But when we really start to look at different phrases that's being said, the shift of the writing, you know, the voices, the mood, the mode of the stories, you see a different pattern of things, especially in Jesus' ministry.
Right.
You see Jesus not only addressing spiritual needs, but he also addresses our social needs, you know, politics, economics. You know, we have been taught this same thing continuously. People go to church and we learn the same thing over and over and over again. And so people have heard that. It's time for something fresh.
Right.
The scriptures do, they afford that. They have, it's a fresh manna. It's called fresh manna. You know, God gave them fresh manna every day.
That's true.
So, the children of Israel, he gave them fresh manna every day. You know, so, and looking at that concept, and you reading the text, every time you go in the text, you can see something fresh and new.
Yeah.
Dealing with economics, we have been taught that, hey, you know, it's cool to be poor.
Right.
God wants you to be poor.
Right.
Stay humble. Yeah. And we have associated that with our financial being. We want to stay low.
Right.
Oh man, you know, you live now and you'll get your prize in heaven.
Right.
You know, and you know, heaven, yeah, everybody wants to go to heaven. Okay. But I don't believe that Jesus died and suffered. Especially in this the resurrection time, you know, Jesus being crucified, he died and he rose. I don't believe that Jesus died for us to stay in the same place. I believe he redeeming us in spiritual. He redeems us in our financial situations. He redeems us in our political situations. Right. The thing that I think that the separation of church and state, you know, you shouldn't vote. You know, we shouldn't talk about politics. You know, hey, we shouldn't talk about, we have taboos in the church, politics, sex, money, drugs, you know, hey, keep that quiet.
Gender equality.
Right. No, right. Exactly. You know, woman's rights, you know, hey, keep that. We don't want to talk about that. Hey, that's the place to talk about it. Right. That's the place to talk about it because the church is the one institution that does have the power to change.
That's true.
Change things. You know, the church has that power.
Yeah. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about your voice and you being the voice.
Okay.
Let's tap into that.
Voice. Me being a voice. You know, Facebook. We was talking about, you know, the posts and stuff that I put. They kind of spark some tension. Right, you know, people get mad. You know, we go back and forth. You know. The voice, the voice. I think about when I'm doing ministry. I think about what do the people need to move from where they are. What are they going to church and they're hearing a message, but what are they not hearing? Right. Me being a voice, and I think about myself when I was doing the things that I was doing in the street and everything. What did I have to hear? What was things that I wanted to hear that would have got me out of my situation? Right. And that's what I try to present to people. Critical thought. Yeah. You know, hey, I don't want to tell you what to do. Right. But I just want you to think about, you know, what you are doing, and you know, and maybe you're not aware of all of the ramifications that what you're doing, what it's bringing to you. Exactly. Maybe you're saying, hey, you know, I'm doing this, and I am, and, you know, I may be just getting high. But what are you really doing? Yeah. I mean, you may be getting high, you may be feeling good, and you know, but what about the children? What are they watching? So what are you doing? You're teaching them that, hey, this is how to feel good about myself.
That's true.
You go to work, you teaching them, you know, you're getting high, you're not spending time with your children. You're teaching them that, hey, family time isn't good. You know, family time, you know, hey, we can do away with that, you know, and so we're teaching things, and then, you know, we're teaching other things. Right. So the voice I want to be. The voice that I want to be is, I want to be the voice that nobody hears. Gotcha. I don't want to be the same voice. I pray, you know, talk to God. God, I don't want to be like other preachers. I mean, I'm just sorry that I don't want to be like other preachers. I mean, hey,
that's
I don't
a sincere prayer, though,
right?
And I can appreciate that, because I mean, everything is so cookie cut, you know. Right. Everything is so traditional, and I mean, of course, we know about the book where it talks about the traditions of man, and I'm like, dude, y'all doing that? Your granddaddy did that. Come on, man, it's time for something different. Right. You know? There's nothing new under the sun, but it's definitely time for something different. Go ahead, tell them all of your social media so that they can see some of these critical thoughts. Social media, you can find me. You can look up Myrian the author, or author. How do they spell it that way? Myrian the author. You spell that MYRIAN THE, and you know, space author. Gotcha. And you can find me on Facebook. I'm really on Facebook, and that's all right now. But you look up Myrian the author, and also you can type in Concrete Ministries. Yeah. You type in Concrete Ministries on Facebook, I'll pop up. So that's how you can get in touch with me on Facebook. Okay, you got any shout outs or anything before we go? Nah, man, I leave that to you, man. You the expert, dude. Most, you know what I'm saying? Most definitely. Of course, I gotta say thanks again for coming on the show. Hey, be looking out for Myrian the author. He's got a book coming out very soon. With that being said, now back to more Brink TV.
In the building.
Street executives.
Georgia Muscle Rock.
DJ. Technique.